Welcome to Best Practices for Work Experiences, Unlocking Opportunities for Students with Disabilities. In this 10-minute video, we will explore the benefits of teaching students in a work experience program compared to the traditional classroom to help individuals with developmental and intellectual disabilities to develop skills that will eventually lead to the goal of finding meaningful employment. This information session will help you to better understand the challenges that these students face, how we can best support them, and the value that they can bring to the workplace. My name is Lexia Suma, and I've been a teacher in the Rainbow District School Board in Sudbury, Ontario for the past 13 years. During this time, I have developed my knowledge in special education by taking a specialist in special education. I've taught over half of my career in special education and also have a background in cooperative education as well. This has led me to use my prior knowledge to successfully teach in a work experience program. For the past 2 years, I have been the instructor for Project Search Sudbury at Health Sciences North. Individuals with disabilities are faced with many employment challenges. Some of these challenges arise due to lack of education with employers, inadequate support, and difficulties with social cues and boundaries. They may also have higher levels of academic needs and are battling the public's perception that people with disabilities are limited in what they are capable of, so they are often placed in volunteer-type positions. For many individuals with disabilities, this may be a daunting challenge. Many are eager to work and contribute to their communities, but often encounter barriers that make it difficult to secure meaningful employment. Traditional teaching may differ from a work experience program in many ways. First, we will look at the traditional teaching model. Traditional teaching focuses on core subjects such as English, mathematics, science, geography, and many more subjects. Students are in a school setting in a classroom environment with peers that are similar in age. This environment allows them to feel safe, comfortable, and supported. They have constant access to support when problems may arise from their teachers, educational assistants, and other support networks within their school. Students are advocated for by their teachers, special education program leaders, and their parents. The focus of teaching is towards grades, evaluation of curriculum expectations, and reporting initial formative and summative assessments. Assistive technology is available when necessary for students to complete assignments. In a work experience program, students are placed in a new environment where they are pushed out of their comfort zone. Students become more independent by learning to navigate their way around new surroundings. They are taught social skills that are appropriate for more mature and professional environments that will be used to associate with adults of varying ages. Students learn to develop their problem-solving skills and their self-advocacy skills. They are constantly learning new skills that can be transferable to other workplaces. Some examples of skills that they acquire include communication, organization, time management, and teamwork skills. In a work experience program, students are introduced to one task at a time through repetition. They must master the task before moving on to the next task. Once the students become more comfortable with the task, they are required to perform the task independently with observation and constructive feedback. The student begins learning simple tasks to gain confidence and are then given more complex tasks as skills are mastered. Through repetition of tasks and a consistent routine, students become more comfortable in their environment and begin to feel valued in their role. Students participate in workplace-related meetings and activities such as team huddles. As a teacher steps away and gives the students more room to be independent, the students become more confident in their ability to problem solve, self-advocate, and ask for help from coworkers and workplace mentors. Students are evaluated on their employability and social skills once a week by their teachers, and once every 3 weeks by their mentor to show growth and to identify areas of intervention that may be needed. Goals are then set to help the student develop a plan to meet their highest potential. By being immersed in the environment, students learn proper social skills, hygiene and attire, routines and procedures necessary to be successful in the work environment. Each education plan is individualized based on the student's needs, strengths, interests, as well as their future goals. Teaching in a workplace environment is adjusted when needed to meet the needs of each individual student. Supports and adjustments are given when necessary and removed when they are no longer needed. In the work experience training program, there are two parts that enable the students to be successful. The first part is the classroom training, and the second part is in the workplace environment. The end goal of teaching should always be work entry. Classroom training. In the classroom portion of the course, we focus on developing social skills and other employability skills that will eventually be put into practice while the students are on placement. In the classroom, students are taught lessons on organization, standards of work, reliability and dependability, teamwork, communication, appropriate social skills, managing emotions, safety standards, and job performance. Students need to learn how to work before they can test their knowledge in the work environment. Workplace environment. When students enter into the workplace or the placement portion of the course, they begin to learn various skills that are transferable to other workplaces. They are held to high standards in which they need to meet the needs and physical demands that are required. They learn how to pay attention to detail and how to follow instructions. They must complete all parts of their job, even when tasks are not preferred. They learn how to work independently or as part of a team with little direction once tasks have been acquired and mastered. They will exercise problem-solving skills when necessary and ask appropriate questions when relevant. To teach students in the workplace environment, first you must learn the task required. This will be taught to you by the mentor in the department. Once you have learned the task, you must break down the task into smaller parts to make it easy for students to grasp. Here's an example. In the pharmacy department at Health Sciences North, we have the complex task of receiving and putting away medication. This may be broken down into 7 steps. Step 1, unpack the tote with a reference sheet and medications. Step 2, find the generic name of the medication on the bottle. Step 3, check the dosage and number of capsules in each bottle. Step 4, count how many bottles you have of the same medication. Step 5, check the product sheet to see how many bottles of the medication were required and check off that the proper amount was received. Record any discrepancies. Step 6, check to make sure the dosage matches the number on the bottle. And finally, step 7, find the placement of the medication by checking the location on the sheet and finding the product name on the shelf. Products are organized by type and by alphabetical order. As you can see, this task seems very complex and can be overwhelming because there are many different parts needed to be mastered before successfully performing the task. Each step must be taught individually before layering on the next step. As the student progresses through each step, they are assessed through observation and given immediate feedback. If the student is having difficulty with any part of the process, the teacher will isolate and focus on that part of the task until the student is ready to move on. Each student goes at their own pace. Layering skills is a technique that is used to ensure the students achieve small successes before moving on to more challenging skills. To ensure that students do not get discouraged, we begin teaching simple tasks that have a limited number of steps to complete. For instance, in the pharmacy department, we may begin with sanitizing bins and rolling isolation gowns before unpacking and putting away medications. Once the students have shown that they can be successful with more simple tasks, we gradually increase to more challenging tasks that are complex in nature, but may be systematic and can easily be broken down into smaller tasks. Tasks should be repeated daily with more feedback given at the beginning. Feedback becomes minimal as a student meets the standards set for the task. The student must ensure that they are meeting the department demands for productivity and paying attention to detail. Fading out is a process that we use to ensure students become successful in their surroundings and perform their tasks independently. This mimics future employment. It begins with one-on-one support by the teacher. The initial phase starts with an interview and a tour of the department, which is led by the department manager or mentor. This helps the student to become more comfortable within their environment. The teacher stays with the student to model proper social behavior, prompt the student, and answer any questions that may arise. The teacher then begins to teach the student new tasks and observes the student in every step of the way. This allows the teacher to critique the student's work immediately and repeat any steps that may have been missed or misunderstood. As the student becomes more comfortable with the environment and the task given, the teacher spends less time with the student. The student will begin to require less frequent check-ins and for shorter periods of time. Each new task that is taught requires one-to-one support until the task has been successfully completed numerous times. The goal is for each student to have a list of tasks that they can complete independently and are confident to work through without the teacher or mentor present. There are many benefits of students working independently. In a work experience program, students become comfortable in unfamiliar environments. They are pushed out of their comfort zones. They meet new people and learn about what they enjoy and are capable of. It builds confidence and they feel valued. It increases their motivation to work and develop their ability to become independent. The students develop problem-solving abilities and the ability to become more efficient workers. They learn through trial and error and have real consequences if they are not meeting workplace standards. Finally, they develop knowledge and skills that are transferable to relatable jobs. There are many benefits for students to learn in a workplace-related program while they are in school. While students are in school, they have a home teacher that they are able to develop a relationship with. This helps them to feel more comfortable and supported. The teacher will have prior knowledge about their abilities, strengths, needs, and future goals. The teacher will follow the students for an entire year through multiple placements and in a variety of settings where the students will learn different tasks. The teacher can follow up in the classroom where they can assist the student in setting realistic goals. The teacher can teach skills in class that are then practiced in the workplace. The students are evaluated regularly with a checklist and rubric, and the teacher meets with the student regularly to discuss their progress. The teacher will highlight areas in which they feel the student needs improvement. Learning with an employment service provider differs from learning workplace-related skills at school in many ways. An employment service provider can help the student to find suitable work and can assist in job coaching. This may be more limited in the hours of support that can be provided. They may not have time to follow up and provide extra lessons outside of the workplace if needed. They may not have the same type of relationship with the student that a teacher would develop over a longer period of time. This may lead to the student being more uncomfortable asking questions or advocating for supports when needed. They may also have inconsistency for who their job coach will be. Overall, the more that can be taught at school, the more prepared the student will be in the workplace. This will then lead to better jobs and a brighter future for these individuals and their families. Here are some skills that I have learned to teach students in a work experience program that I did not know before I began working in this area. Number one, I have learned that each individual learns differently and may acquire skills at their own pace. I've learned that complex tasks can be easily broken down into smaller tasks that are easier to learn. I've learned that giving constant feedback initially helps to keep the standards of work high. I've learned that building rapport helps to gain students' trust. I have also learned that as a teacher, you are constantly learning alongside the students. It is important to ask questions and adjust techniques if roadblocks apply. And finally, I've learned that individuals with disabilities all have different needs and capabilities and can be successful when given the proper support, accommodations, modifications, and resources to help them to be successful. Thank you so much for joining in my information session today. Please do not hesitate to contact me through email at asuma@rainbowschools.ca if you would like more information on how to develop a work education program at your school. Enjoy the rest of your day.